No more 6-7. Commanders, Lions. Yeah, Donald Trump in the studio. One of the announcers tried to make 2 6-7 jokes during this interview, and they were cringe as fuck. It's like a Gen Alpha thing. My kids know all about it. I can't even fucking count in my house without one of them. Oh, 6-7, which, hey, that's their thing. That's funny. That's fine. That's good for them. I'm making a statement today. I'm speaking on behalf of all of the old people. Let's stop trying to use this fucking meme, this catchphrase, this joke. No more 6-7. Unless you're like 15 years old or younger. I think that should be a rule. No more motherfucking 6-7 for all you motherfuckers that are 40, 45, 50, 60. Knock it off. It's not funny when y'all do it in the football games, newscast, weather fucking stay. I don't care if the temperature's 67. Don't make the joke. Just fucking read it and then shut the fuck up. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Mic Check. This is episode 7, lucky number 7. We made it, and I'm not going to do a number joke. I'm not going to do the whole 6-7 thing. And actually, I was watching football this past weekend. I saw a clip. Actually, I didn't even see this game. It was the Commanders, Lions. I saw this clip on TikTok. Yeah, Donald Trump in the studio, and then one of the announcers, the commentators, I forget the guy's name, tried to make 2 6-7 jokes during this interview, and they were cringe as fuck. And it made me think to myself, because if you don't know 6-7, I mean, look it up on TikTok. I think it's like a Gen Alpha thing. My kids know all about it. I can't even fucking count in my house without one of them. Oh, 6-7. Which, hey, that's their thing. That's funny. That's fine. That's good for them. I'm making a statement today. I'm speaking on behalf of all of the old people, my age and above. I'll be 40 next month. For the love of God, let's stop trying to use this fucking meme, this catchphrase, this joke. No more 6-7. Unless you're like 15 years old or younger. I think that should be a rule. No more motherfucking 6-7 for all you motherfuckers that are 40, 45, 50, 60. Knock it off. It's weird. It's cringy. It's not cool. It sucks for us. It's the kids' thing. Let them do their thing. All you WWE fans, imagine if our parents, when we were in middle school, were going around doing crotch chops, telling everybody to suck it, DX style. No, it'd be weird. It'd be weird. They were doing the too sweet. Be weird. It's a bad look. You're over the age 15, fucking knock it off. It's weird. It's bad. It's not funny when you do it. It's not funny when y'all do it in the football games, newscast, weather fucking stay. I don't care if the temperature's 67. Don't make the joke. Just fucking read it and then shut the fuck up. So, anyways, I know we're not crazy political here, but if it's something stupid, I can't help but comment on it and bring it up. I know you guys seen the Epstein emails that were released earlier today. And it's beyond comical now. I think anyone who's not so far up another human being's ass knows that there's only one reason why these files have not been released. And I don't think it's limited to the old Donald here. I think there's a lot of politicians on both sides that would be on that list. There's no fucking chance these things are getting out. You will see certain things released, like this one here was released because a couple emails mentioned Trump. I get it. I think that, Trump went out and said, oh, it's a hoax. It's a Democrats' hoax. No, I think the Democrats were strategic about which emails they decided to release, because these were definitely not the only emails that they got from Epstein or whoever turned them over to the government. They just happened to pick these few. So it's kind of like two things can be true. Yes, these emails are true. They do mention that Trump possibly was hooked up with Epstein more than just, knowing the fella. One of the emails talks about him being in the room with a girl for hours, and I don't think they were like reading a book or watching only comics or anything like that. So that is true, I believe. And the other thing that's true is I do think that it's not a hoax, but it is Democrats doing something, releasing these few intentionally. So he didn't say that. He said it was a hoax, but I don't believe it was a hoax. I don't think it was fake news. It's fake news. I don't think it was fake news, Donald. I don't. So it was not a shock to me. I'm just surprised it took this long for something like that to come out. But I don't think we'll ever really see the files because it's going to indict too many people. It's not just him. It's not just the Republicans. I think it's just a lot of politicians in general. I wouldn't be surprised if the fucking Clintons were on there. I mean, so who knows? I think the point is or the takeaway for me is we probably will never really know. Doomsday. So there's a couple rumors this week. One of them I wanted to touch on today was about the Doom variants. There's rumors that Doom variants will show up in Avengers Doomsday. There's even a rumor of a female Doom variant. And this type's what's funny about, I think it's fun. I guess the journey, the wait, the build to these movies provides a lot of fun. You hear a lot of crazy rumors. You hear a lot of crazy takes about these rumors. You hear people that take the rumors and act as if they're true, and I'm not going to see that movie. And first of all, it's a rumor, dude. It's a rumor. Some of these rumors turn out to be true, and what's fun for me is along the way trying to guess which ones will be, which ones sound like they make the most sense. This one, Doom variants. Do I think we'll see Doom variants? Possibly. I think that when people hear this, I think it depends if you're like a negative person or a positive person. I think that contributes a lot to how you perceive things like this, these rumors, and because I think the negative person hears that and they go to, oh, they're gonna ruin it. They're gonna have all these Doom variants, and they're gonna, of course, they're gonna do a female Doom. It's what they always do. I look at this rumor, and I think that if this is true, I bet it will be something similar to the montage in Deadpool and Wolverine, where we saw those different Wolverine variants. I don't believe that multiple Doom variants will play a major role in this. I would be surprised. I could be wrong. I'm not afraid to come back and tell you I was wrong if I was. I don't believe that will happen. I think if anything, it would be a quick montage, or if not a montage, these variants will have minimal roles. It's like, there were Doctor Strange variants in Multiverse of Madness. There was a Wanda variant. So I think we would see some of that, but I don't think it's going to be like a team of Doom variants throughout the movie. I just think this movie, Doom is too big of a character, too big of a persona, and he's not really been introduced in the MCU. So I feel like if they were focusing heavy on variants, I think that would cheapen the experience, and I don't think that's going to happen. I keep seeing comments, and I think it's probably like a vocal minority. I don't think it's the way most people think, but there's some people that don't seem to understand that an actor, Robert Downey Jr., can play another character in the same universe and not automatically have to be that character. I don't believe we're going to see much of Robert Downey Jr.'s face in this movie unless it's disfigured, unless there's some CGI, unless there's something done to. I don't believe people are like, oh, you think they're going to cast Robert Downey Jr. and not show his face for most of the movie? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I absolutely do. In The Mandalorian, how many times do you see Pedro Pascal's face? He's the main fucking character. I do believe that they're going to put this guy in this movie. I think we will see his face, but it's not going to be what people think he's going to show up. Robert Downey Jr. is going to show up in Doomsday with jet black hair, slick back, real sharp goatee, dark eyebrows, cracking jokes, big old expensive sunglasses, talking to Jarvis, calling Pepper. Like, that's not what's going to fucking happen. He's going to look like Tony Stark. He's not going to look like Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. doesn't look like Tony Stark now. In the videos, not the videos, in the pictures that have been released while they were shooting by Robert Downey Jr. himself, when he's sitting there flexing and he's got the magazine or the comic, he doesn't look like Tony Stark. So what are they going to do? CGI him in the movie to make him look like Tony Stark? Oh, the actors are going to recognize. No, they're not, dude. Now, I know at the time it was technically a different universe, but did Josh Brolin not play Thanos and Cable? Now you'd be like, oh, well, Deadpool made a joke about it. Well, that's Deadpool. But nobody else went, hey, you look like the guy who snapped, a few years ago and wiped out the whole universe. And that's Thanos. Thanos was the doom of the last saga. So if Thanos, that love, it's kind of in reverse. You got Thanos, you're up here, you're well known, and then you jump over to a Deadpool movie to play the kind of second lead in that. Nobody was confused. Nobody said it was a cheap cash grab. I don't understand why it's so different with Robert Downey Jr. It's just people can't fathom the idea of Robert Downey Jr. being in a comic book movie, being in MCU, and not playing Iron Man. Now, do I think Robert Downey Jr. could possibly play an Iron Man variant in this movie? Yes, I do. But I do not believe that Dr. Doom will be a Tony Stark variant. I think bringing him back has everybody talking, has people thinking that's going to happen, have people like me swearing it's not going to happen. But it also gives them the opportunity to kind of distract everybody with this Doom Stark thing. And maybe he's coming back to play Doom and Tony Stark. Maybe he shows up as a alternate universe's Iron Man. Why not? He's there. But I do not believe that Dr. Doom will be a Tony Stark variant. And I'm waiting. I wish somebody would show me. Like, tell me where it is. I'll go read it. Read a comic. I'll go read a comic. If you tell me which one, what comic, Dr. Doom is a Tony Stark variant. Which comic is that? There's two comics that I think people are confused with. Because here's what most people do. Somebody says it online, like on Twitter or TikTok or something, and most people see it and just believe because this person has a TikTok channel that may have, a couple thousand followers or something, that it's true. And then they use that in their arguments and other comments. Like, well, it happens in the comics, doesn't it? Doesn't it happen in the comics? No, bro. And if it does, if somebody proves me wrong and shows me the comic where this actually happens, I'll own it. Matter of fact, I'll send you my copy of Secret Wars. I'll send it over to you for free. If one person actually proves to me that there is a comic where Tony Stark, Dr. Doom, is the same person, where Doom is a Tony Stark variant, show me that. Now, I'm going to point out two that don't count. So the first one is a What If comic, Demon in Armor. That doesn't count. That's not a variant. In this comic, Tony Stark, Victor Von Doom go to college together. Long story short, Doom's doing an experiment like he always fucking does in college, right? And he swaps bodies with Tony Stark. There's an Iron Man suit that looks like a Christmas present. It's green and silver. Then there's Doom suit. Tony Stark's in Doom's body. And it's red and yellow. Like fucking Hulk Hogan was from Latveria. It's a weird comic. It's a stupid story. It's a what if. I don't like it. The other one is the infamous Iron Man. Tony Stark's dead in this comic already. Dr. Doom gets a hold of Tony Stark's armor, and he basically becomes Iron Man. It's not a Tony Stark variant. He's Dr. Doom wearing an Iron Man suit. It's not the same. If I drop this hat and you pick it up, you ain't me, bro. You just wearing my old hat. Doom wearing Tony's old suit. But you absolutely believe that's going to happen. It's in a comic, man. Read it in a comic. Show me the comic. If I'm wrong and there is a comic out there where Dr. Doom is a Tony Stark variant, at the end, surprise, it's me. I'm actually Tony Stark. I'll send you a free comic book. All right. Speaking of Iron Man, I saw this on Twitter today, or X as they call it. Magneto versus Iron Man. And somebody tagged me. Magneto versus Iron Man. Who would win? And the person that reshared it, this wasn't the person that sent it to me. They were like, basically put your thinking cap on now. I'm like, dude, you don't need a fucking thinking cap. It's Magneto in with ease. And then I was reading through the comments a little bit, and people were like, Iron Man could just create a non-metal suit. That's how he's going to get him, a non-metal suit. So now I almost can't fault people for thinking that, because I do understand that there are a lot more fans that have seen comic book movies, than there are that have seen the movies and read the comics. They don't read a comic. So I decided to do the work for those people and break down Magneto's power set a little bit. Because he's known as control metal. Sure, that's the easy way to explain it. But he actually controls electromagnetism. He controls the electromagnetic field of the entire planet. It's literally one of the 4 basic forces that make the universe work. So there's a reason why Magneto is an Omega level mutant. If you don't know what that means, it means it's a mutant that's power has no limit. No measurable limit. Everything we're using right now, dude, these boards, well, you can't see them, but there's a switcher, there's a soundboard, there's a computer here. There's a lot of plastic pieces here, but they're electronic. He can affect those things. The Wi-Fi, your phone, this microphone, fucking light, electricity, all run on electromagnetism. Magneto can mess with all that shit. So he doesn't just move metal. He controls the stuff that makes energy flow and atoms stick together. He can bend light. He can shut down electronics. He can redirect lightning, jam satellites, anything that uses a signal or current. He fucking owns that shit. So Tony removes the metal from his suit. Okay, well, there's still going to be sensors. There's still going to be some electronics in there, whether they're metal or not. But this thing is still going to have energy to run. Magneto can have control over all of those things. Even the iron in your blood. Electrons in the air. He can create energy fields. Think about some of the things he's done in the comics. He's ripped Wolverine's metal skeleton out of his body like it was fucking spaghetti. He's pulled satellites out of orbit. Let's see what else. He's even stopped Thor's hammer. And that is not because it's metal, because he can control the electromagnetic field around it. And that's a metal from a whole nother fucking planet. He can fuck with graviton particles, nanotech. He can alter force fields, energy constructs, anything that has electromagnetic properties. There was a comic, Ultimate X-Men. He stopped plastic bullets by manipulating the kinetic energy in the air and redirecting them. So, metal or not, he would literally wipe the fucking floor with Iron Man. Now, I like Iron Man, bro. Tony Stark's my guy, but Magneto's on a whole nother level. He can project magnetic force fields. They can absorb energy blasts, radiation, even psionic attacks. He can generate electromagnetic pulses that can disable electronics. So literally, Iron Man shows up. Maybe the first thing Magneto does is, try to stop him, realizes his suit is not made of metal. It's made of something else. That means it's going to be weaker, though, right? He sends an electromagnetic pulse, disables all the electronics in his suit. Okay, let's say somehow Tony's back online. He tries to blast him with his repulsor. Magnetic force field around him absorbs all that. He can control weather patterns by altering the ionization in the atmosphere. He can levitate massive objects. So think about this. There's no metal in Iron Man's suit. But what about wherever this fight is happening? There's probably metal somewhere within reach. He don't need his suit to be metal. He can pull fucking metal out of the ground, out of the buildings or something, and literally impale this dude. Not to mention, he's also a genius, because everyone's a genius in the comics, right? He is one of the 10 smartest people in the Marvel Universe. And he understands the physics of this energy. A couple other things he's done in the comics before we move on. Uncanny X-Men. He shifted the magnetic poles of the Earth. We also saw that in X-Men 97, where he takes down the whole some shit. He fucks everything up. I know that. No power, cuts off everything. Another X-Men comic, he creates a wormhole by bending electromagnetic energy. He has withstood a blow from Phoenix-level beings. He's held together the planet's magnetic field during catastrophic events. He's literally like godlike. So even if Tony builds this non-metal suit, still not going to stand a chance against Magneto. Also, dude, Magneto's been fighting like literal gods and reality warpers and all other kinds of powered individuals since the 60s. Tony ain't built like that, bro. Iron Man builds the armor. Magneto is the fucking armor. So if you're thinking, shit, Magneto's just a metal guy, nah, dude, he's not out here fucking playing with refrigerator doors and shit. He's the electromagnetism fucking master, dude. Anything around him, Wi-Fi, light, his fucking phone, your Tesla, pacemaker, whatever, it's a wrap. So it's not that he controls metal, he controls energy. The energy happens to be electromagnetism. it's I think it's a fucking easy fight, easy dude. Iron Man's cool, but against Magneto, bro, he's just a rich dude in a metal coffin. So anyway, that's my take on Magneto versus Iron Man. I think it's a fight you probably would be over quick, dude. It'd be a post-credit scene. Speaking of post-credit scenes, there was a trailer for Stranger Things season 5, and they also released the first 5 minutes of the new season. I don't know if you guys seen this. If you didn't, I'll tell you real quick what it showed. It actually showed a flashback to the first season when Will goes missing in the Upside Down, and we see Will encounter Vecna in the Upside Down. So basically tying this thing back to the first season. I'll tell you what, dude, I don't know if this all was planned day one. It probably wasn't. But, dude, they did a hell of a job of retconning this Vecna character into Stranger Things and now tying it back to the beginning to make it full circle. Now, either they did a hell of a job of retconning it or that was the plan from the beginning. I don't know if it was the plan from the beginning because I feel like they wouldn't have to go back and shoot these scenes and tell the story now in reverse. But I think they did a really good job between the stuff in the 4th season with tying them back to 11 in the Rainbow Room and all that shit. And now tying them back to Will in the first 5 minutes of the Stranger Things video. So I'm hyped, dude. I'm looking forward to Stranger Things season 5. And I do think it is a good time to end this. My only issue with this that you see, I think, a little bit in season 4 is how old these characters look now to be playing high school kids. That's all. And I think not only old to play high school kids, they also, when we first were introduced to them, they were a lot younger. So I think because we've watched them grow up, it makes it seem like they're even older than they really are. But it's been some fucking time, dude, that they've been playing kids. So that's a little odd. But I mean, shit, the movie Grease, they're supposed to be in high school. These motherfuckers are 35 years old. So I guess it's not that crazy. I saw the trailer to the Michael Jackson biopic that was put out last week. I'm torn on what to think. I know they've done a good job of the visuals. They've done a good job with the music. It's almost like a cheat code, though. Like, it's Michael Jackson, dude. Like, if you can use his music in the movie and his likeness, I mean, you got a fucking major advantage on any biopic that they've done in the past that couldn't. His nephew is playing him. I think his name, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Jafar maybe, Jackson. I'm not sure which one of his siblings this nephew comes from, but he resembles Michael enough. And the thing about Michael Jackson is, through number one, the vitiligo, number two, the surgeries he's had throughout the years. I mean, I know he said he never did, but like, bro, his face literally changed, like his nose deteriorated. But through all those phases, outside of when he's a little kid, it's the same guy playing him. And they did a pretty good job of, I mean, I know he's his nephew, so there's a chance there's some likeness there already, but they did a pretty good job of recreating, I guess, Michael Jackson throughout all these eras. Some of them are a little, like when the younger Michael Jackson, I think they did a little too much prosthetics to the actor's nose in the trailer. It looks overly fake. And then there's one where the actor's eyebrows are look like someone just freshly fucking waxed them. And in how Michael looked in that same era was the complete opposite. So there's just some small, subtle things. The voice, I don't know if that was really this motherfucker's voice or they somehow did some AI Michael Jackson shit, but it was on point. Either way, I mean, this movie, I think it's going to be a massive box office event. It's Michael Jackson, dude. Literally the pop star. I forget who I saw. I was watching some video, and they were talking about how big Michael Jackson was, and they were like, you got Jesus Christ and Michael Jackson as far as like how well known, how famous. I don't know that there has ever been a celebrity more famous than Michael Jackson. He is someone that, whether you like him or not, whether you liked his music or not, I I don't know. I don't know of many adults or many people above the age of like maybe 5 that don't at least know. That's probably a stretch. Maybe above age 10 that don't know who Michael Jackson is, and he's been dead for like shit 13, 14 years or something like that, maybe even longer. I mean, that motherfucker would have chicks passing the fuck out just because they saw him. Like shit that I didn't realize how crazy it was at the time, because I'll be 40 years old in next month. So when I was born, Michael Jackson was already a star. He was a big star. In 85, he was already a fucking massive star. So all my life, I always knew him as a celebrity. And by the time I was old enough to know what the fuck was going on, he was a massive, massive celebrity. So I grew up just seeing, like, I'm thinking this shit's normal. People pass out for celebrities and shit. But it was Michael Jackson. I've not seen anyone since then that has had the fandom that he's had. Even some of these major pop stars with the kids, the damn, the Biebers, the Jonas Brothers, the Britney Spears, the Backstreet Boys, all these motherfuckers. Dude, Michael Jackson was on another fucking level. Chicks would just like, at the sight of him, fucking faint. Oh my God, it's Michael, oh my God, oh my God. Look, it's Michael, oh my God. Craziness. Too bad he passed. I think that, talk about, tinfoil shit we get into on other stuff. That's one I think we need to dig into, because a lot of shit, math ain't mathing on that, bro. Meaning there's a theory out there that it wasn't no accident. But trailer drop. I'm looking forward to the movie. Comes out next year. Next year seems to be like a pretty big movie year, dude. You got early in the year, you have freaking Scream 7 coming out. You got this Michael Jackson movie coming out. There's I think the Moana live action's coming out next year. You got Spider-Man Brand New Day. You got Mortal Kombat 2. You got the Super Mario Galaxy movie sequel to that animated movie. Shit, what else? And then you got Avengers Doomsday. You got Supergirl. I mean, that's already 8 big movies right there, and I'm sure there's some more I'm missing. But dude, it's shaping up to be a pretty solid year of movies next year, which hopefully, bring the box office back a little bit. I think that if maybe they cut the cost of the soda and the popcorn, maybe that'd help too. But who knows? Who knows? Speaking of movies, there was a movie called Christy that was just released. It was about the boxer from, it was when I was growing up, probably like the early 2000s, maybe, Christy Martin. And I remember watching her fight. She was really good. Sydney Sweeney plays Christy in this movie, and she had some comments about the disappointing box office performance. So it's funny that this is the second movie. Now, I've not seen this, so I guess I really can't say this for sure, but I see this and I think of The Rock's Smashing Machine. It's a movie, a biopic based on a fighter. Now, this one a female boxer, the other one a MMA fighter, a male. Somewhat different eras, maybe. Probably some crossover in when they were fighting, but both not like big box office type movies, more maybe art house, if you will. The Rock's movie did shit. I think I was like one of 8 people that saw it. Has any of y'all seen The Smashing Machine? I actually I highly recommend it. I can't wait till it's dropped on streaming so I can watch it again. It probably will be on soon based off of how no one went out to see it. But this movie, I think the name of the movie is just Christy. This movie failed a lot worse than The Smashing Machine. I'm trying to find the numbers here. I think it only did like $1 million or some shit at the box, like literally $1 million at the box office. Now, Sydney came out and she had some things to say about it. What's funny with these actors is like when the movie doesn't do well, they always kind of say the same shit. They always kind of say that, it's about the experience and the art and stuff. And that's kind of what she said. All right. So before we get into what she said, the movie Christy, the budget was $15 million. So far, the movie at the box office has done $1.4 million. It was released November 7th. So last week, $15 million budget, 1.4 at the box office. That is, that's a fucking hell of a failure right there. I wonder let's see what the Smashing Machine was. The Smashing Machine. Now, this problem with the Smashing Machine is it cost $50 million to make. Worldwide, it did $20.3 million. It opened at $5.8 million first weekend in North America. So this movie did a hell of a lot worse than The Smashing Machine, although it only cost $15 million to make. Smashing Machine cost $50, and they haven't even recouped half of that because that doesn't count the marketing and whatnot, and also the box office split. Like that money all don't go back to the producer of the movie, the company, the studio. The theater has to keep their percentage as well. But opening weekend 5.8 versus Christy 1.4, so pretty fucking bad. So what what Sydney Sweeney went on to say was just something about how, it was a box office flop, but it's about the impact. That's the thing. Oh, you're not making movies for the box office, you're making them for the impact. Now, I don't know, how intelligent this individual, Sydney Sweeney, is, but when you say it's about the impact, well, the lack of people going to see the fucking movie would indicate that it didn't have much impact, right? Like, I don't know what kind of, I don't know what impact you're talking about, like, what's your measuring stick, but, like, why not just go, yeah, no, that sucks, actually. I thought it was a good movie. Surprised that no one went out to see it. Like, just be honest. Come up with this bullshit. It's about the impact. There's no fucking impact. The impact is no one went to fucking see it. Sad part is I actually thought it looked decent, but maybe because I'm like one of probably the 10 people that remember watching Christy Martin fight. Now, Ruby Rose came out and she critiqued the fuck out of this movie. Or not this movie, critiqued Sydney Sweeney. So she says that she put this out somewhere, I don't know, some social. She said the original Christy Martin script was incredible, life-changing. I was attached to play Cherry. I don't know who Cherry is. Everyone had experience with the core material. Most of us were actually gay. It's part of why I stayed in acting. Losing roles happens all the time. For a PR to talk about it flopping and saying Sydney Sweeney did it for the people, none of the people want to see someone who hates them parading around pretending to be us. You're a cretin and you ruined the film, period. Christy deserved better. So I guess she's obviously not excited about what Sydney said or even Sydney playing Christy Martin in this movie in general. I'm trying to figure out who the fuck Cherry is. Because maybe she meant Sherry, who was this character, was one of Christy's high school girlfriends. So Christy, I guess, is bisexual. So that's where her mother was homophobic, shit like that. So anyways, Ruby Rose, who is, I think I don't know if she's bi or she's lesbian, but she's pretty open about it. And her point is, why is someone who's straight playing this bisexual chick, I guess. And that, I don't know how I feel about that. Is it weird when Hollywood casts a straight actor to play a gay character? Is that weird? Should a gay actor play the gay character? I mean, you guys know how we feel about race swapping, gender swapping comic characters. Like, don't make Falcon white. Don't make Batman black. Shit like that. Just use a character of that race, that demographic, that nationality, that whatever, that probably exists in either Marvel or DC, instead of changing an existing one. Now, I don't know how I feel about situations like this, like the sexual preference. Does that fall into the same lines? I don't know. I mean, I think if the character's gay, I would assume cast a gay actor if you have one that fits that character, like look, portrayal. So I kind of see Ruby Rose's point here, and I think when she's saying you didn't do it for the people, I think she's speaking to probably Sydney's political stance or who she aligns with or whatnot. So, but who knows? Either way, I didn't see the movie, and obviously no one fucking else did. If any of y'all actually by chance saw the movie, please let me know. Let me know if it was good. It's got kind of mixed reviews. I think Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 60, 66. And then Cinema Score gave it a B+, Metacritic 60 out of 100. So seems to be not really killing it from the critics' standpoint either. This movie earning $1.3 million in the first weekend domestically is one of the top 12 worst openings for a new release that opened on over 2,000 screens. So this was in over 2,000 theaters and only did 1.3 million. So, all right, gonna get into some WWE stuff. I saw this article about Mick Foley. First of all, Mick Foley is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, period. He's someone that, myself included when I say this, forgets to bring up when we're talking about GOATs and shit like that. It's hard not to put Mick in that. I mean, he's probably top 10. That's what we should do is because everyone likes to talk my top 5, my Mount Rushmore, this and that. Okay, that's cool. But what about your top 10? What about your top fucking 20? Those lists get interesting because for the most part, bro, everybody's top 5s are, not everybody, a lot of them are very similar. Like I did my wrestling top 5 a couple weeks ago. Handful of people dropped them in the comments, and I would say at least a quarter of everybody's top 5s can be the same pretty much. Like Hogan's going to be in a lot of them. Austin's going to be in a lot of them. The Rock's going to be in a lot of them. Ric Flair's going to be in a lot. HBK is going to be. So but top 10, Mick Foley's on there all day. They were asking him about his favorite match of his career. Now, he's got some big ones. He won the WWE Championship on Raw against Triple H. That was a big one. I mean, that's Triple H against The Rock. That was a big one. He's won the tag team champs a few times. He headlined WrestleMania 2000, that shitty-ass Fatal 4-Way match. He had the match with Triple H, the Royal Rumble one that we talked about on other stuff. He's had, what else? The Taker Hell in a Cell match. He had the Hell in a Cell match with Triple H. He's had some fucking amazing matches. So they asked him what his favorite match. And he actually singled out a different match, a match that happened in 2004 at a Backlash pay-per-view against Randy Orton. This is a great match. This, if you've not seen this, I highly recommend go back and watch it. It was a hardcore match. It was a hell of a match. It was bloody. I can't remember if there was a flaming table in this one or not, or if that was an Edge match. I'm probably mixing the two up. I do know there is a thumbtack spot in this match, which was a big deal. But this was a phenomenal match. It was great. And I wasn't entirely surprised that he picked this, but I kind of thought he was going to go to one of those other ones. I mean, I think everyone thought he'd be the Hell in a Cell match. But when you think about it, bro, he got fucked up in that match. I don't think that was his favorite match. Like, it probably was one of the most impactful matches to his career, but favorite? Probably not. Dude, he got thrown off of a cell, dislocated his shoulder, knocked his teeth out, concussed. I mean, that was a car crash. But the match with Randy Orton, dude, that was great. So, other wrestling news. There's this tournament going on. Actually, before we get to that, John Cena wins the Intercontinental Championship, becomes a Grand Slam champ, wins the belt for the first time in his career against Dominic Mysterio on Raw. I think that was a big deal. I think number one, Dom is, I saw somebody say this in an interview. I think Cody Rhodes even said it. Dom is the future, one of the how you word it. He's the top guy for the future of WWE. Let's put it that way. He will be. He's young, dude. He's just getting started, and he's already been the most over heel for a long time. And he got so over that he was cheered when he won the Intercontinental belt at WrestleMania. And now he just dropped it to John Cena, which, you could argue, why you job him out to Cena? First of all, cool thing about Dom is he's not a badass, meaning a loss to John Cena ain't going to hurt him. And you don't even need, it's not hard to believe. He's fucking John Cena. Of course he's going to beat Dom in a match. Wins the belt. It's probably going to cause some cracks, more cracks in the Judgment Day, right? Where the fuck was Judgment Day at? But there's this tournament to find out who is going to be John Cena's final opponent. Some people have been announced, some people haven't, some surprises, yada, yada, yada. One person that's been announced that a lot of people believe will win the tournament and be his last opponent is the ring general himself, Gunther. Do I think Gunther, Walter, whatever the fuck you want to call him today, should be John Cena's final opponent? I'm not sure. Let's weigh the pros and cons here. So the pros would be, there's definitely a major pro for Gunther. If he faces Cena last, I believe 1,000% whoever faces Cena in this last match is going to win. Cena's going to put this guy over. He's not going to retire with the Intercontinental belt, I believe. So, assuming that's the case, Gunther beats Cena, wins the belt. It's a big deal for Gunther beating Cena, depending on how you look at it. Gunther was the most interesting, in my opinion, when he had the Intercontinental belt, when he had that run. I think it was 666 days. I wish they would have let him go another day or two. It started 666. Come on, bro. That was the most interesting he was. That was some of his best matches. The moment with Sammy winning the belt at WrestleMania, I was actually there for that. That was amazing. Gunther as the world champ was not it for whatever reason. I don't know. I just think it became a clone of his IC championship reign, but it just didn't have the same impact. Like, that act just didn't work on the main event level for me. It worked. It worked in a level where you had a bunch of mid-card baby faces that you could beat, and we believed it. Gunther's not going to beat these top guys. He's not beating Cody Rhodes. He's not. I didn't think that it hit the same way. So, that being said, he if he's the last opponent, gets the belt back. That's when he was most interesting. Cena's retiring anyways. Gunther also retired Goldberg. So you add that layer to his character. It makes sense. But I think that's probably why people don't want it. Because it's almost like it makes too much sense. It almost feels cheap. Like, yeah, of course have Gunther who retired Goldberg, retire Cena. It's too predictable is probably the better way to put it. So that's probably one of the cons. It's too predictable. It's too predictable that it's going to be Gunther and he wins, retires Cena. Now, that could be exactly why he's in there, to maybe swerve us and have us think. I hope this is the case. I hope it's someone that no one's even mentioned. I hope it's someone that we least expect. It wouldn't. I mean, this is I guess a far-fetched one. I've seen this rumor online. I can't take credit for it, but Jericho comes back, gets out of that shithole called AEW, comes back to WWE in I guess a plan to finish out his career. He retires Cena, wins the Intercontinental belt. He's been the IC champ a bunch of times. I don't think that's that crazy. The other, I guess, con, if it's Gunther, is it really a rub that Gunther needs right now? He's beaten Randy Orton. He's beaten a lot of fucking people. He's already recognized as a legitimate badass in the ring. Some of these matches he's had with Sheamus and McIntyre. So you don't really need it. So I guess the con would be you're giving it to Gunther over somebody that could use it, over some up-and-coming guy, over maybe some new addition that no one's even thinking of. So I think the con is that we've seen this before. It's very predictable if it does happen. And you kind of waste the rub on someone who probably doesn't need it. So, I don't know. Is Gunther Cena's last opponent? What do you think? I'm going to say no. Maybe that's wishful fucking thinking, and I'll be proven wrong and be pissed off, but I'm going to say no, Gunther's not Cena's final opponent. I think it's a swerve. I think it's going to be somebody else. Another person I hope it's not, don't think it's going to be, is LA Knight. I saw some shit about his promo allegedly getting cut off on Raw. I don't know if it was cut off or not. I would assume that if you're doing live TV like this and you know there's a commercial coming up next, you probably got some kind of timer or some shit. I would assume. It's also Netflix, so maybe it's not as Loctite as it would have been if it was on cable, and maybe they did cut him off. I don't know. But I would, if I'm betting on that, I don't think they cut him off. I think he probably went past his time. People, there's another side angle of him, and they're like, he's upset. Well, maybe he was upset. That don't necessarily mean he was upset that they cut him off. Think about this. If you're sitting there cutting a promo and your job is to end a minute and 30 seconds and you go over 2 seconds, 5 seconds, and they cut you off, would you not be mad at yourself? Shit. Like, what if he was all up in the camera? Oh my fucking hell, like, yeah, all that stupid shit. and he wasn't paying attention to the time, and he ran over, they cut him off, and he was just visibly upset at himself. Like, just because he was upset don't mean that they cut him off and he was upset at the person behind the camera. The other thing is, I wish they would fucking cut him off as soon as they turn his mic on, because I'm tired of fucking hearing his ass. Maybe if he wasn't busy trying to sound like Stone Cold mixed with The Rock, maybe he wouldn't fuck up his promos. Maybe he wouldn't go over his time. I don't know. But I'm just not a fan of LA Knight's character. I don't know. I mean, so I hope when people don't like the guy. No, I don't even know the guy. I just don't like that character. You know. All right. Two more things before we get into I Respond. We wrap this thing up. One of these is just something I saw that was fucking funny and stupid. So Kim Kardashian, I guess she's trying to be a lawyer. She's playing a lawyer on TV, and she's trying to be a lawyer. Okay. I know she's advocated for some people that have been wrongly convicted and things like that, and I think she's even helped at least one or two people get out of jail. So I think that's awesome. That's cool. Her dad was a lawyer. But there was a TikTok recap of her mother's birthday. Kris Jenner turned 70. And Kim Kardashian went off on the psychics. She said, this is her exact quote, "All of the fucking psychics that we have met with and that we're obsessed with are all fucking full of shit. They collectively, maybe 4 of them, have told me I was going to pass the bar. They're all full pathological liars. Don't believe anything they say." This is when, like, you want to bring these celebrities back down to the real world. Yo, I don't know who you're talking to, because we don't believe what the fuck psychics say. And also, why the fuck are you going to psychics to ask them if you're going to pass the bar? Like, just fucking study for this shit. Fuck, you asking a psychic? How the hell they know? Dude, I know, I've never been to a psychic. I don't ever plan on going to a psychic. There was a tarot card reader psychic, like, shop, I guess. So on my way home from work. And I drove by it for years. One day I drive by and the shit's burnt down. Like, you didn't see that coming? You're a psychic, tarot card reader. You're predicting all this future shit. I don't know how it burnt down. I hope everybody's okay. I don't know details. You didn't see that shit coming, though? You didn't get the card that has the fire on it or some fucking stupid shit? So, anyways, I just thought this was funny. Is why the fuck is she going to psychics to find out if she's going to pass an exam? You just study enough and you'll fucking pass. Or not, obviously. Last piece of news. Marvel Rivals. I know y'all have not heard me say that in a long time. I actually played the other day. First time in a couple months. I played 3 matches. I played as my girl Wanda, Scarlet Witch. Won the first match. Got MVP. It was a fucking slaughter. Wasn't even close. I think I died maybe twice. Like, it just was easy, quick match. Then, second match, complete opposite. I played as Cloak and Dagger because nobody wanted to heal. I'm healing everybody. I had like 15,000 healing points at the end. We got demolished. We couldn't even get out of the fucking entry point. We walked through the door, just killed it. So much of a mismatch. Then the third match, complete opposite. We just pushed through, won with ease. And it just I played a store, just reminded me of, I think, why a lot of people checked out. I don't know the term for it, it's some acronym, but there's allegedly some matchmaking tactic, strategy, algorithm in this game that is designed for that exact experience. They want you to win, want you to lose. They want you to win, want you to lose. Because they want everybody to be able to win, because they believe that that is going to make people want to play more because no matter how bad you fucking suck, I guess, every other game or every couple games, you're guaranteed to win. That sucks because then you get in these mismatched matches on purpose. So you're either on the receiving end of the handicap, I guess, like golf and stuff. There's like a handicap. This is kind of like a handicap. We're going to put you on a team and you're going to play a team that's god awful. So what this tells me is they have the ability to rank by skill because they know everybody's skill. They know how to put 6 shitty ass players on one team and 6 okay players on the other team. So the shitty team gets their ass whooped. Then they know how to take that team of the team that won, split them up, put them on a team that's really shitty to play a team that's really good. So they get their ass whooped. And it gets fucking old really quick. I'd rather play a really, really good back and forth, win, lose, whatever, than do that shit. Win one-sided, lose one-sided. Win one-sided, lose. And I don't know when that changed because early on in the game it was not like that. But that's not why I brought it up. Brought it up because I played a couple rounds. But also Season 5 trailer was just released. This game is actually going on a year old already. Season 5 is called Love is a Battlefield. It launches November 15th. And they unveiled, as they say, the character designs for 2 X-Men, Rogue and Gambit. Gambit is a strategist. Gambit's a healer. I don't know what Rogue is yet. I would assume she's probably a duelist, a DPS, like everybody else in the fucking game. That's the other thing, too, is a little DPS heavy, bro. Like, can we get some more tanks and shit? But Gambit, Rogue, they're in this. I saw a little bit of Gambit's gameplay. Looks really fucking fun. So I do plan on checking this out. I have not played as Daredevil yet. I've not played as Blade yet. I've not played as Angela yet. So if y'all have, let me know. Last new character I played as was Phoenix, who is pretty fun to play as. So I'm curious, is there anybody out there that's still playing this game that watches this show? I'm thinking about getting back into it a little bit. I'm definitely going to try out these characters. Releases November 14th. I want to say it's just Gambit. I don't know if it's Gambit, then in a few weeks it's maybe Rogue, so don't quote me on that. But anyway, last piece, this is I Respond. Got some comments from last week. I'm going to pull those up real quick. So we got DJ Super Soldier says, my guy Mike, let's get into the Hello Brooklyn. I agree with your point that it doesn't fit the American Gangsta album at all, and Mr. Carter off Carter 3 is an amazing song, but the reason I like this is the beat is ridiculous, and at the time, I was still a massive Wheezy, and still am, a massive Wheezy fan, and he sounds smooth as fuck on that. Okay. Just imagine verses in New York, and you hear the words, Hello Brooklyn, the roof is going to come down, but it's cool. Though only comics we have learned you can agree to disagree. That's exactly right. Yeah, I think even if I was in New York, my wife's actually from Brooklyn. I spent a lot of time in Brooklyn. Not Sunset Park, Bay Ridge area is where she's from. We spent a lot of our early years hanging out in Brooklyn, in New York in general. But if that song came on, Hello Brooklyn, I would walk the fuck out. Mount Rushmore, Hogan, Austin, Cena, Taker. Last spot was hard because it was between The Rock and HBK. So as of today, HBK is taking my last spot. And then he said another comment that it's actually 4. So he would just go with those top 4. Yo, HBK it's hard for me to leave him out too. Because I would say he is, from a wrestling standpoint, I think he is just straight up in ring. I think he's the GOAT, dude. I really do. I put him over. I know a lot of people glaze Ric Flair, but maybe Ric Flair's a little bit before my time because Ric Flair is a wrestler who, as long as I've been watching him wrestle, he's been old. So I don't know like how he's always been old. But HBK, I think once that bell rings, I think he's all around the GOAT. but I could see why, like, I didn't have him in my Mount Rushmore either because of some of the other impact these guys have had. So WWE's definitely in a dip now. I feel like you don't have to watch Raw or SmackDown every week. Just watch the PLEs and you haven't missed anything. 100%, dude. 100%. The Captain Canada. What up, Mike? I agree. I think Doom was a better choice for the next phase as a villain. Never been a Kang Glazer, and he was misused in Quantumania. Yes, he was. I need to watch the rest of the Scream movies now before 7 comes out. Have you asked Adrian if he listens to Mike Check Pod? I have not, and I doubt he watches. You think he fucking hears enough from me? B. Jaded says, I agree. I really had no interest in Kang and hadn't been watching many MCU movies. Now I'm totally in because of Doom and Robert Downey Jr. playing Doom. Big upgrade. Thank you. Somebody fucking gets it. Reign of C. All new, interesting newsroom. Okay, well, appreciate that. Short and sweet. Sky Wayne. I gotta disagree. If they kept Kang and didn't jump the gun on shifting the story based on the real situation Majors was going through, we wouldn't be here. We still don't have a definite team to lead us into the story. Marvel had a couple wins between Endgame and now, but I say the gap between Doctor Strange 2 and Fantastic Four, that's me, though. And honestly, they've kind of ruined the Fantastic Four trilogy already, heralding Galactus and having him actually showing up. I honestly can't wait to see it. Nonetheless, hopes aren't high, but there is much anticipation to see what they come up with, especially after they're clearly in now. Okay, so I don't know why we think we need to have a definite team leading into Avengers Doomsday. I want to remind you of a couple things. There's only one X-Men movie, There's only one Avengers movie where we had a definite team leading into that movie. There was no team assembled in the first Avengers movie yet. Now you can argue, we knew who was going to be in there. Okay, cool, sure. So maybe the first two then, Avengers, Age of Ultron. But Infinity War, the Avengers were split. Captain America was on the run with Black Widow, with Falcon. Wanda and Vision were off doing their thing and hiding. Tony's part-time out of the game. Banner's off planet. They're all over the fucking place in Infinity War. We didn't know who was going to come back, when Tony and Cap were going to cross paths again, and they didn't until Endgame. So you had no idea who the fucking team was at that point. And then Endgame, half of these motherfuckers are snapped away. You had no idea who the team was going to be then either. So I don't see how that's critique. I don't see how that's an issue. I'm kind of on the side of I don't want to know much until this movie drops, to be honest. I think Doom is such an amazing character. Secret Wars is such a good story. They're building to that. I'm good with just showing up and knowing what I know right now, which is not much of anything. Also, I don't see why having Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie ruins the trilogy. Bro, Galactus is he's like Joker to Batman. Like, he's there outside of Doctor Doom. He's the villain everyone thinks of. And he hasn't been killed, bro. He was just pushed away into some other part of the universe. That doesn't mean that eventually he ain't going to come back. They didn't kill him. I don't think that's crazy at all. How many times has Galactus interacted with the Fantastic Four in the comics, dude? Skywayne, I think you need to do what I tell a lot of people on here. Read a comic. Bloody Knuckle Shows says Doom is way cooler. Done right, yes. I loved Kang, but they messed up at the end of Ant-Man. Yes, they did. I still want to see Doom killing the Kang Council to start Doomsday or in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man just to show his power. That Waldron thing would have been bad. Is that what that says? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I can't read. But yeah, I definitely would love to see some type of scene of Doom ridding the universe of Kang, the council, the whole fucking thing. I would not be mad at that. So, and the Sketch Boy says, I don't care for Hello Brooklyn either. There you go, DJ. He don't like it either. That's okay. Like you said, we can agree to disagree. You can fucking love it. You fucking play it right now in the background while you're watching this. I don't mind at all, bro. I can't hear it. Anyways, that is the show. That's Mic Check. I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop me some comments. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like, what you agree with, what you don't. And it's been fun. Episode 7. We made it. We're on the way. So appreciate y'all checking us out. You know where to find Mic Check every week right here on Wednesdays. We'll see you next week.